Okay, let's move on and talk about the transcendent experience of the summer, which was the weekend live performance that you actually saw twice in Vancouver, which is crazy.
Oh
You're
yeah.
like exo fangirl over here.
So I went twice. You came with me on the second day. Dude, that was a spectacular fucking concert. I mean, just everything from the music, the performance, the dancing, the visuals, meeting some people there, making friends. Even there was an after party at the Roxy on day two that I went to, which was pretty fun. But just like I have never been in a more immersive, atmospherically dense, rich, just like overstimulating almost experience where there's so much going on. This is clearly very intricately curated and produced to give you an otherworldly, you said it, transcendent experience artistically and just with the music, seeing someone like The Weeknd who's been so consistent over the years. He's had so many eras, and he performed songs from Starboy era, Beauty Behind the Madness era, more recent stuff from After Hours and Dawn FM, and obviously Hurry Up Tomorrow, his new album. Like it was like, wow, like someone can be so consistent over time in musical and lyrical and visual quality in his aesthetic and who he is. And he's really created this incredible cinematic trajectory over the years where he's had all these different kinds of characters and different kind of narrative arcs, from the Starboy, the Beauty Behind the Madness, Dawn FM, After Hours, this kind of vampire phase that he was in, and now Hurry Up Tomorrow, which was very central to this performance that he did. Hurry Up Tomorrow is his, I would say, first real exploration of more religious and spiritual themes. I mean, you got a bit of that in Dawn FM, but here he's really starting to step into more spiritual and kind of mystical topics. He's talking a lot about the afterlife and salvation and being saved and the nature of sin and atonement, his shadow aspects. A lot of interesting allusions to Jungian psychology. The whole performance and the album Hurry Up Tomorrow is very much geared towards self-transcendence and rebirth. Towards the start of the performance, he has on the mask, eventually gets rid of the mask, and it's all kind of going towards this arc throughout the performance. I think you have the eye in the performance, playing on the screen. You have this gold kind of magical figurine, which I later was doing a bit of research in Jungian psychology. Gold represents rebirth and creating something new. Carl Jung talked a lot about the symbolism of these kind of things, and so you have The Weeknd singing with the mask on, the mask off, and looking up to this gold figurine, which in Jungian psychology represents a more integrated self that's aware of its shadows and its divine aspects. And towards the end of the performance, you have The Weeknd showing this kind of man on fire, this burning man with flames, and some people, I would say, misinterpreting that as devil worship, but it really, I think, symbolizes this kind of phoenix rising motif of fire burning the old self. And The Weeknd's explicitly talked about Hurry Up Tomorrow and this album being the end of The Weeknd, and we're not sure what's going to come next, or maybe he'll come back and whatever, but he said this marks the end of The Weeknd. And The Weeknd, musically, culturally, artistically, represents fun, hedonistic party music, but also the shadow aspects of human emotion and romantic attachment and longing and trauma. Like, really, throughout his career, he's, from the very start, from Trilogy, he's consistently sang about his vices and about being a very imperfect person who's looking for connection. A song like Wicked Games, where he's talking about bringing his shame and his trauma and his inner feelings of being inadequate and the shadowy parts of his psyche, wanting pleasure, wanting validation, wanting to be affirmed for who he is, and that leading to his pursuits of fame, relationships. On Hurry Up Tomorrow, he's acknowledging the shadow aspects of his psyche and all the dark, painful places that has taken him, and how he's looking for salvation. He's looking for transcendence. He's looking for something deeper. He doesn't want to be stuck here forever. Towards the end of the performance, it was burning and it was on fire. And so that's in Jungian psychology, such a powerful symbol for renewal. The ego has to die before the new self emerges. And so that was very clear and very obvious from his performance. And just beyond that, beyond the deeper stuff, just so much fun. Just going back to the Trilogy era, that was my favorite part, listening to him perform House of Balloons. As soon as that came on, I was like, okay, I'm here at the right place, right time. This is the moment to be. And he played The Morning as well. He also played Kissland, one of my favorite songs. Really the OG stuff that I find most compelling in the Weeknd's catalog. House of Balloons, Kissland, all that was super entertaining, and I really enjoyed it. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I was not a Weeknd fan before going to this concert. I think I'd listened to a few songs with you here and there, and I have to say that was definitely the most profound concert I've ever been to. Just the visual effects were pretty surreal. So I left that concert definitely a big Weeknd fan, especially Hurry Up Tomorrow. That's one of my top albums right now.